Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Sam, and if you're new here, I hope by the end of this video, you'll want to subscribe. Let's get straight into it. Ripple just dropped a major announcement on X. The SEC has officially abandoned its appeal against Ripple. This marks a historic moment, not just for Ripple and XRP, but for the entire crypto industry. If we check out their website, Ripple describes this as a groundbreaking victory. And they're absolutely right. This lawsuit should never have existed in the first place. But now, after 4 years of legal battles, the SEC's case is officially closing, pending commission vote and approval. Now, while everyone might immediately think about XRP's price impact, I want to shift focus. Price action is secondary to the real story here: adoption, utility, and Ripple's next moves. The past 4 years have been a waiting game, but now the real acceleration begins. This moment is a game changer. We're about to see major institutional adoption of XRP, and Ripple's expansion in the US market is now unrestricted. This is where things get exciting. To prove this, let's talk about RL USD. LMAX Group's digital clients now have access to Ripple USD, a USD-backed stablecoin. This move strengthens institutional trading infrastructure, offering transparent and efficient access to liquid assets. This isn't just another announcement. It's a major step toward an interconnected financial system. RL USD is gaining traction fast, and when the market fully embraces it, we'll see explosive liquidity. Keep in mind, LMAX Group is a leader in institutional execution venues for FX and digital assets. The real takeaway here: XRP and Ripple were held back by regulatory uncertainty for years. Now, with this roadblock gone, their impact on FX markets, cross-border payments, and institutional finance is set to skyrocket. Just think about everything that was put on hold: ETFs, institutional adoption, partnerships under NDAs. With the lawsuit resolved, those doors are swinging wide open. Even back in February, Ripple teased this shift. Rowan Exchange shared Ripple's latest promotional video, which emphasized their vision for the Internet of Value, reshaping how money moves globally. And within that video, a key image featuring the dollar, yen, XRP, Bitcoin, and the rupee. The FX market is a massive 7.5 trillion per day industry, and Ripple is positioning itself at its core. What's especially interesting is that while we already have RL USD, we don't yet have RO yen or RL rupee. However, Ripple has already made major moves with the euro and the pound. Currency's not even featured in that image. So what's Ripple's next strategic play? Let's look at what they've been building in the background. Ripple employees have openly discussed how their custody solutions, combined with their global FX banking payout network, create the ideal foundation for tokenized markets. And now, with regulatory uncertainty gone, Ripple can go all in. XRP is fully cleared. RL USD is already tokenized on-chain. Ripple has a firm grip on 90% of the FX market infrastructure. The pieces are falling into place, and the scale of what's coming is staggering.
Well, I agree. I think using an example of custody, with Ripple Custody, formerly known as Medico, it's working with large institutions and making sure that they can scale. We have tremendous coverage of some of the largest financial institutions in Europe, be it DBS, HSBC, BBVA, Switzerland. And they're trusting us to come in, not only provide custody, but allow them to tokenize and pull it together in one package. So scale is going to happen when some of this fragmentation that we talk about it kind of is removed. We almost want this. We almost want this to be kind of boring. It should be really clear. It's not like taking a front seat and you spend half the time you meet with a customer just explaining the technology and why they shouldn't be worried about it, but you're really focusing on the benefits, the real world utility that the solution brings. And without that, it's going to be, it's a slog. And I do feel it's getting better. Again, the amount of inbound requests we're getting to meet with large institutions around tokenization products is just astounding vis-a-vis a year ago. And I think being able to again, bring those things together in a very kind of frictionless way is what's really going to allow the real scale to thrive.
Now let's talk about stablecoins and their role in transforming FX markets. A recent episode of the Tokenized podcast laid it out perfectly. While many focus on meme coins and speculative trading, regulated stablecoins are quietly laying the groundwork for a $7 trillion per day financial revolution. This shift is happening behind the scenes, but make no mistake, it's the real deal. The future of FX isn't about replacing traditional systems, it's about upgrading them. The blueprint is clear. Regulated issuers put real currencies on chain, DeFi integrates institutional guardrails, and traditional finance connects to permissioned protocols. This enables real-time, multi-currency settlement at the speed of the internet. The head of crypto at Visa emphasized this vision, underscoring just how crucial Ripple's role is in this transformation. With the SEC lawsuit out of the way, Ripple can now focus entirely on executing this vision.
And then once you have more stablecoins representing many different currencies, then you start to see on-chain FX. And I think we are just scratching the surface around, if you have credible regulated issuers, putting currencies, on chain that are all running on the same blockchain that can then start to use the same DeFi primitives that, people traditionally only used for meme coins and kind of other types of, crypto assets. Now those primitives can be hardened, can be institutionalized, can have the right, permissions around them, and then can be used, for next generation instant, 24/7, FX markets. And I think that that's a massive opportunity.
Here's something even more compelling. A recent paper titled Regulatory Clarity and XRP, The Path to Global Institutional Stablecoin Adoption. Written by an emeritus finance professor from Marquette, it explores how the Genius Act paves the way for RL USD and XRP to bridge the gap between traditional finance and blockchain technology. With the SEC lawsuit no longer an obstacle, Ripple's compliance victories at the state level reinforce its standing as a leader in regulatory compliant digital finance. The FX market's sheer scale makes this a once-in-a-generation opportunity. With compliance at the forefront, the winners will be the networks that align with regulators. And Ripple is leading the charge. Beyond that, we're now witnessing major stablecoin legislation emerging in the US, a clear sign that policymakers recognize the industry's importance. Stablecoins are already moving trillions of dollars per year, and their growth is accelerating at an unprecedented rate. Ripple has long championed the Internet of Value, and this vision is rapidly becoming reality. Over the past decade, Ripple has positioned itself as a key player in the shift toward digital money. And now, every major fiat currency is exploring tokenization. Consider this. Ripple is a member of the Digital Euro Association and the Digital Pound Foundation. They're actively contributing to discussions on the future of money. The European Central Bank has made it clear that digital currencies are about securing financial sovereignty in an increasingly fragmented world. Geopolitical tensions are accelerating the race toward digital currencies, and Ripple is at the center of it all. Within the next year or two, nearly every major nation will have launched its own digital currency or tokenized version of its FX reserves. We're already seeing it happen. The digital euro is coming. The digital pound is inevitable. The US dollar is already tokenized on-chain. Even Japan is making moves. Nomura Laser Digital and GM Internet have partnered to develop Japanese stablecoins. And here's the real kicker. The stablecoin market is projected to explode from 220 billion tare to 2.8 trillion by 2028. That's just 3 years away. The SEC case was one of the last remaining hurdles holding Ripple back. Now that it's resolved, what's next? Expect Ripple to roll out even more stablecoins, RO Yen, RL Euro, RL Pound, and beyond. And remember, The FX market moves $7 trillion per day. Capturing even 1% of that would be groundbreaking for XRP. This is how high-value digital assets emerge, by solving real problems at scale. The shift is happening now. While some may doubt the pace of progress, the evidence is undeniable. The XRP ledger, Hyperledger, and other efficient, compliant networks will dominate this space. Those working closely with regulators will be the ones to lead this transformation. So keep your eyes on Ripple, XRP, and the broader tokenized FX market. This is a game changer. That's a wrap for today's video. If you found this insightful, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates. Follow me on X. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. Peace out.